Imagine for a moment a simple, unassuming door standing alone in a vast, empty field under a sky streaked with the colors of sunset. It is not connected to any wall or building. It simply is. What if, by turning its tarnished brass knob and stepping across its threshold, you were not in the same field anymore? What if you found yourself standing on the same patch of earth, but 100 years in the past, or 1,000 years in the future? This powerful image, the idea of a time portal, has captivated human imagination for millennia. It is a fundamental question that probes the very nature of our existence. Are we forever locked into the relentless, forward march of time, or could there be secret passages, shortcuts through the fourth dimension? This single question creates a fascinating crossroads where two of humanity's greatest methods for understanding the universe meet. On one path stands myth-tradition storytelling. This path is paved with ancient legends of enchanted forests, magical mirrors. Long before physicists drafted equations describing the fabric of the universe, storytellers and shamans were already exploring its hidden dimensions. In cultures across the globe, we find a rich tapestry of myths about portals that manipulate time. These are not scientific theories, but powerful narratives that speak to a universal human experience. Consider the Japanese legend of Urashima Taro, a kind fisherman who rescues a turtle. As a reward, he is taken to the Dragon Palace under the sea. He spends what feels like only a few days there, but when he returns, he discovers that 300 years have passed. The world he knew is gone, and everyone he loved is long dead. This story, and others like it, are not merely fairy tales. They are cautionary explorations of time's relativity and the pain of loss. Similarly, Celtic folklore is filled with tales of mortals who wander into the realm of the Fae, the other world. A person might stumble through a ring of mushrooms or pass between two ancient trees. They find themselves in a land where time has no meaning, feast and dance for what seems like a single night, and then return to discover decades, or even centuries, have vanished. These myths serve as a cultural warning. Meddling with the natural flow of time leads to alienation and sorrow. At the dawn of the 20th century, a young patent clerk named Albert Einstein forever shattered our classical, intuitive understanding of time. Before him, time was considered a universal constant, a great cosmic clock that ticked at the same rate for everyone everywhere in the universe. It was absolute. But Einstein's theories of relativity revealed a far stranger and more flexible reality. He demonstrated, with the irrefutable language of mathematics, that time is not absolute. Instead, it is relative, interwoven with space into a single four-dimensional fabric he called space-time. And this fabric can be stretched, warped, bent by gravity and velocity. This was the birth of a revolutionary idea: time dilation. Einstein's special theory of relativity, published in 1905, predicted that the faster you move through space, the slower you move through time relative to a stationary observer. If Einstein's theories opened the door to time travel a crack, his equations also hinted at far more dramatic possibilities: cosmic tunnels that could potentially serve as the portals of our dreams. Shortly after Einstein published his theory of general relativity, physicists Karl Schwarzschild, Ludwig Flamm, and later Einstein himself with Nathan Rosen explored the bizarre implications of his work. They discovered that the mathematics allowed for the existence of what they called bridges through space-time. These theoretical shortcuts, now famously known as wormholes or Einstein-Rosen bridges, could hypothetically connect two vastly distant points in space, like a tunnel through a mountain instead of a long road around it. The implications were staggering. A journey that might take thousands of years traveling through normal space could be completed in a matter of moments by traversing a wormhole. But the idea didn't stop there. Physicists like Kip Thorne later theorized that if one could control a wormhole, it might be possible to connect not just two different places in space, but two different moments in time. If you could take one mouth of a wormhole and accelerate it to near the speed of light and then bring it back, the grand cosmic ideas of wormholes and black hole time machines are thrilling. But for science to progress, theory must eventually meet experimentation. So how do we move from the elegance of mathematics to the hard reality of the laboratory? We cannot build a black hole or stabilize a wormhole in a university basement. The energies required are astronomical. Instead, scientists take a different approach. They search for the small, subtle footprints these phenomena might leave on the universe and replicate the underlying principles on a much smaller scale. One avenue is the hunt for astronomical evidence. Telescopes scan the skies for anomalies. A wormhole could theoretically produce a specific type of gravitational lensing, a way of bending light that looks different from lensing by a normal star or galaxy. Astronomers search for these unique light signatures, hoping to find a candidate object. So far, no smoking gun for a natural wormhole has been found, but the search continues, pushing observational technology. Our journey begins. Our journey has taken us from the misty realms of mythology to the razor's edge of theoretical physics. We have seen that the dream of time travel is as old as human consciousness itself, born from our deepest desires to undo regret and to embrace hope. The myths gave this dream a face, personifying time as a river. That river could be briefly diverted by gods or by magic. They provided us with a language of wonder, but also a warning. To tamper with time is to risk losing your place in it. These ancient stories remind us that the why of time travel, the emotional and ethical implications, is just as important as the how. Science, in its methodical and meticulous way, has taken this dream and placed it under the bright, sterile light of scrutiny. It has shown us that time is not the rigid, unchangeable monolith we once thought it was. Through the proven reality of time dilation, we know that traveling into the future is not only possible, it's built into our universe. The more speculative concepts, wormholes, and other cosmic shortcuts remain purely theoretical, fenced off by colossal energy requirements and the need for new physics. Science trades the immediate gratification of myth for the slow, steady accumulation of evidence, demanding proof over belief. The great takeaway is that myth and science are not enemies.